everyone. I am making this video after I was able to meet with some of you to make sure that we are all on the same page when it comes to your informative speech. Now, there are a few things that I want to address with you, starting with how your grade is going to appear in the midterm grade, okay? So as you know, in the incoming days, I will need to publish the midterm grades for all of you. Now, usually as professors, I don't know if anybody has ever explained this to you, but we have a couple of ways to do it. Number one, we can either say that you're doing a satisfactory job or an unsatisfactory performance, meaning you're passing or failing the class. Now, in the past, I have done these because I'm usually able to talk with you in person, whether that's in the classroom and everything else. So if you have more specific questions, you can just stop by my office and we can talk about it. Now, last semester in particular, that did not work for me because, as you probably know, we all have a lot of stress going on right now. So a lot of students actually do want to know how they're doing and they want me to give them specific grades. So with that in mind, I am thinking that this semester I will actually post actual grades in terms of A, B, C, and whatever you have so far, so that you have an idea of where you are, if you can still save this class, if you're doing a great job, and if you're getting an A, it's kind of reassuring, right? With all the stress that's happening, that you're like, okay, I have an A in this class. I am motivated, I feel refreshed, and I'm just gonna relax and do what I can do. So that's my plan. Now, what am I going to take into consideration to be able to produce a number for you? And bear in mind that I still don't have the grades for your persuasive speech or your actual delivery for your informative speech or anything else. So you may get an A right now, and then your final grade can change a lot. It can remain as an A, but it can also drop depending on your performance in those assignments. So this is just to say, you will have an actual grade just so that you have an idea of how you're doing, but it still means that you have to continue doing the work so that you make sure that that grade remains high if you get it, okay? Now, when it comes to the questions that I got this morning, one of the things that I want you to know, there are a number of things. So question number one, if you haven't figured it out already, in the first video that I published back in February 2nd, which is when we started class, I told you, if you go to Moodle and click on any week, you can see what's expected. You can see the materials. The only thing that's not posted is the weekly assignments. But every major assignment has been there for at least 2 months now. So if you're still having questions like, Dr. Gomez-Paga, I don't know when exactly I am expected to call my friends to let them know that I need to present on Zoom with them. You can go ahead and just click what it says open all, and every single week it's going to expand, and then you can see what's due in the incoming weeks. I think, don't quote me on that because I've been going back and forth with all of my classes, but you're looking at probably week 9 or 10 when it comes to your actual delivery for your informative speech. But you can go ahead, start checking, start scheduling, and start making sure that everybody is on board, meaning the people that you have asked to be in your audience. So that is question number 2, in case you haven't figured it out again. I published this in the beginning of the semester via a video. I told you everything has been posted, every description, every rubric, every assignment description, it's all there, okay? So you can go ahead and do that right now. That's question number 1. Number 2, how worried should you be about the assignment that is due tomorrow? It's a draft, okay? So because we've been talking a lot about what makes a good delivery, the storytelling, the improvisation, your ability to connect with the audience, we haven't had a chance to actually write a speech. So I will not grade you because I haven't taught you how to do that. So the only thing I want you to do is, number 1, put it down, putting in writing. Number 2, have faith and trust in the fact that I will come and see it and look at it and be like, okay, remember what we talk about when it comes to storytelling? I think this is a great chance for you to put a story before you actually hit the audience with the statistic. Or this is a great statistic. Why don't you put it back here in the first paragraph? So in order for me to be able to offer that feedback, I need you to actually give me your speech so that I can edit, revisit, revise, and make comments on it. So this assignment is just a chance for you to put it down, start it. It's my way of forcing you to start it so that you don't wait until the very last minute for me to tell you exactly how you can make it better. And then when you actually deliver your speech, you will be required to submit both the revised version of your written assignment and the video presentation of your assignment, okay? And I will grade those too. That was the other question because people were kind of scared this morning. The third and last question is, well, what happens if I want to present a PowerPoint? If you go to every assignment description, I've made it very clear. You are not allowed to use a PowerPoint. Why? Because you only have 3 minutes. So I think you are perfectly capable of gaining your audience's attention in 3 or 4 minutes. I want you to exercise your ability to engage audience for 3 or 4 minutes. It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. You can do it for only 4 minutes. If I allow you to have a presentation, I can guarantee that more than half of you are going to rely on the presentation and you're going to forget about your hand gestures, your facial expressions, your voice, your pace, because you will be so focused on that. And it's so easy. I myself have presented on Zoom for a year now, and it's so easy to just put the presentation up there and forget about the fact that you're still on camera. So no, for these assignments and this semester, you will not be able to use a PowerPoint presentation. So don't even think about relying on that. You won't be using it, okay? So I will make a more detailed video explaining to you how you can make a presentation better. The other thing that I also noticed when you were presenting with your teams is that a couple of you had your masks on. Now, I understand that if you're living on campus and if you are on, I don't know, you have a job and you have difficult, tight schedules, it's hard for you to come together as a team, to have 3 people in the same room. And maybe the only chance you had was between 2 and 2:30 when you were on your lunch break and you had to have your mask on. That's fine for a weekly assignment. However, for your presentation, because I will be grading your facial expressions as part of your actual grade, I will need you to be in a place where you can take off your mask, okay? I am going to be very clear. You are not allowed to be wearing a mask. Now, don't confuse that with me saying that you're allowed to not wear a mask in public. Make sure that when you actually schedule your presentation, you're able to be in a room where you don't put anyone in danger by not wearing a mask, okay? So that's the difference. So if you have any more questions, we still have about a day. Send them my way. I will try my best to respond to any questions you may have for the assignment that is due tomorrow. Now, bear with me as I try to share my screen with you and explain to you how your grade is going to appear. Okay, so here is my grade book as it actually looks in Excel, because I cannot do this on Moodle. So you will notice that for the last couple of weeks, you only had a passing fail grade. So a lot of you are like, what's a passing grade? Does that mean I have full credit? Does that mean an A? What's the deal? Why am I not getting like an actual number? The reason why you're not getting an actual number is because I know from experience, I taught this class last semester, and I know from experience that once you start delivering your speech, your grade is gonna go down. And it's gonna go down because it is my job to actually be very picky in terms of how I'm going to evaluate your delivery. This is what this class is about, okay? So as a way to balance those things out, what I have done is all of these assignments, right? Introductions, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of these have been graded in terms of pass, fail, or no submission. If you have a pass, that means that for every assignment, you have full credit. That means 100 points. If you have a fail, that means that you have half credit, meaning 50 as opposed to 100. If you have a no submission, it means 0, okay? Now, if you are in that group of people that needs to be submitting something tomorrow, then I highly suggest that you yourself go back to Moodle and check, did I get a fail because I didn't submit anything? So when it comes to like averaging my own grade, is it worth for me to maybe pull an all-nighter trying to complete X number of assignments, or should I be investing that energy in my draft? For these purposes, all of the assignments are worth the same, okay? So let me give you an example. So here's my name, and say I forgot about week number 2, so I have a 0 here. I did a poor job in week number 4 because something came up in my family, and then on week number 5, again, I kind of messed up, okay? So you can see here that my total average is already going under, right? So if I submit my final draft, right? Again, it's just a draft, meaning it's only pass or fail. If you submit and it's kind of like looking like you're listening and applying what you're learning in this class, then it's 100. And if not, it's 50 points. It's half credit because again, it's only pass or fail. Now, if you revise that, when I am able to give you feedback and your actual final speech is a lot better and you covered every single one of my revisions, you get a 100 here, right? Now, if you are 100% on point on your delivery, you have 100% here. Now, make sure that you pay attention to this part right here where it says informative speech. For your informative speech, that entire percentage that it's on the syllabus, I think it's 15% of your entire grade, it's going to be divided in 3, okay? And those 3 stages are the draft, which is pass fail, the final revision, which is based on 10 out of a 10 scale right here, and the video, okay? So say, okay, so tomorrow I was able to turn in all of my submissions. I have 100, 100, and then 100, okay? So I have all of my submissions here ready. Okay. Now I submit a draft. I kind of sort of didn't have a lot of time to put anything together because I'm currently working on other midterms. However, when it comes to my final submission, I was able to revise. I went through all of the comments that the professor made and I turned in a wonderful, magnificent speech. Okay. It's 100. Now on the video, honestly, nobody has ever gotten a 100. So let's say that you get a 95 because it was good, but there was still room for improvement, okay? What is your, how is your midterm grade gonna look like? It's a 97, it's still an A+. So don't stress over a 95 here, it's still an A+. Now what happens if I get a 90? Still an A+. Now if I get an 80, still an A+, okay? So don't obsess over that because as long as you revise and as long as you submit, you can still have an A in the final grade, okay? So if you have any more questions, please let me know. Don't be overconfident. What I'm trying to tell you is you're still expected to do the job. You're still expected to do high quality job, right? But don't stress if not everything is perfect. I have given you a lot of points in the first few weeks so that I can actually give you meaningful feedback when you present. I have also, let me just stop my share right here. I have also given you plenty of opportunities for you to see how you're looking on camera, to exercise how you're going to use your hands, to figure out how you're going to be seated, to figure out the lighting, to figure out your mask. So because I've been giving you enough opportunities, I will be very picky when it comes to your presentation. And it's all because I want you to grow as a speaker, okay? So with that in mind, let me know if you have any questions and have fun.